Hey guys, how are you? How are you? How are you? Ethereum, Bitcoin. Yes, so these are the times that I was trying to warn about earlier, and we were one setup early, where the bull only boys on Ethereum suddenly meet the fact that not every setup is a long setup. I've been getting a lot of you were wrong about this breakout here that took place, where we warned that there was a bit of head and shoulder structure and that we'd done a great deal on Ethereum on the big time frames. Just as a reminder, this is the journey so far. It's largely a bull, but it's done an immense amount since this point down here when it was at 4. An immense amount. That means a lot of people are deep in pocket. What happens is, in trading, this is a psychology, and in investment as well, is you look down a lot more when you've made real gains. Fear of loss becomes greater than fear of missing out of fresh gains when you already have an immense amount that you've made. We cautioned here, it broke up upside. The haters came out and said, you were wrong. It's always a buy, 1,000 by the end of the year. It can still do that 1,000 by the end of the year. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to say it won't or it can't. Nobody knows. What I can say, though, is it was showing potential downside structure and it never occurred here. Then went up here and then it looked very, very weak at this period. All the guys on Alphabet, all the people I'm working for heard from me, Ethereum's sniffing the trapdoor, it's going down. I could dig out the comments, but I'm afraid it's personal conversations in an asset management space, and I can't. And it's happened. It's happened and it's selling hard. And it's selling hard versus Bitcoin. The cryptos have had a big run, and we're entitled to a bit of a correction. And for those that don't recognize how much this matters, just in the hodl strategy, it does matter because you've gone from touching 15s to now trading 11,765 and spilling, as you can see this occurring as it happens. And not every probability setup will work, but it tells you and it warns you when there's a possibility of this occurring. So when we saw this, you get exactly like the oil chart where we called overperformance to the downside. I'm calling again overperformance to the downside on this for a sell. Very like the oil chart, only that was a weekly chart. In crypto, everything is on a much smaller scale. You get what's called a highly slung inverted setup, the first in a new downturn. If you want to understand that, come and do a program. If you're just watching, just take it for what I'm saying. Overperformance is indeed possible here. In fact, we've already had it. In other words, if nothing else happens, that's overperformance. That's your target, by the way, and that's an extra 40% on your shorts. Plus, you had a squeeze within a squeeze. Let's show you that. Let's show you the detail in this setup. And this was terrible. Even after the break, it didn't become a buy. I'm still in Bitcoin, and the best place to be would be in Tether. Done a little bit of bottom fishing on SIS, which is coming down in a falling wedge type format. But generally, I've been in the Bitcoin. So here you go. That's your low one, high one, low two, high two. Hanging high, hanging on the 14 level. Little perky upgun. Got us thinking, could it be upside continuation again? Then it started drifting and sniffing for that trapdoor. That was a major triggering event. Plus your squeeze in there that failed. You had the early warning there. Let's look at it on a shorter time frame. Get you more detail. You get the real low volatility. Spinning tops, edging down. Look one way, not a hell. There's all bullishness is gone. This little squeeze, key break, you ran it there. That was a warning. That's your low one, your low two. You've got a low 3 in there on a lower time frame. You've got your high 1, your high 2 again over there. You let go. You let go, and you were already battling to hold the 14. You were failing at the 14, failing at the 14. That was originally the point around which the key level of significance, the round number that this was trying to hold. Then you spilt like a monster. That's a brilliant short to have taken. That's right. People who traded short, and I'm not into shorting cryptos particularly, even ones that are oversold and giving good setups. But people that are trading shorts would have done brilliantly. Shorting Ethereum. Yes, you heard it. It doesn't mean you stay long-term short. It doesn't mean it still can't do 1,000. This is just a buying season and a selling season. And this is currently for Ethereum a selling season after a lot of people committed a lot of capital, a lot of narratives got very fully priced in. And this is the game. So was this a big rally? Was it all over? It came all the way back down. Very flat bottom. We had a grind line and a terrible weak rally. What does it do? It slipped again. It slipped again. And now you're getting candles. This was reactionary, an absolute panic selling, and you got a big bounce. Where will the bounces be now after you're trading in a much lower level? So this is Ethereum all the way back to the point when I originally warned it was potentially due a reversal and it broke out. And this is the thing with views. They can often be initially incorrect. In terms of that setup, it remains actually an incorrect call. The market, it went up, inaccurate, but it's failed at the next one. And now it's coming back down. So I've thrown, for interest sakes, a fib. And this is just the point making here. That's, this was a very overextended Ethereum. I want to do it the other way around actually, so I'm going to take that off and do it top down. This is overextended Ethereum. What could you get? You could, once again, for longer time frame, have a left shoulder, big tabletop head. If you trade down to here and then you bounce as you get to the 11.5s and you get a rally, you can get what I call like a table mountain head and shoulders, which has a big flat top head and a dip. Does that mean it has to happen? No. Once again, it's just become a higher possibility for something that's done a lot of running. So yeah, that's the position. So it's it's not all bull trend all the time, and you have to watch out for these, because in percentage terms, as I say, was 15, now sub 12. It's still a reasonable trim. In terms of if you got in at $4, you're miles up, you're still laughing, your hodl strategy is still fine, but you could set up and invert again and come back down. There are sometimes a value to occasional positional readjustments. No one wants to be, I certainly don't want to be, a 9-screen, 14-hour-a-day day trader thrasher. And to be clear, this can rally at any point, and once we run this funnel, it's all blue sky back again to the upside again. It's just what the market is giving you. Read what they give you and be prepared to flip. People see U-turns as a negative thing. People see U-turns as a negative thing. The price behavior changes, the view should change. Simple as that, as quickly as is needed and as often as possible. The more you marry a view, the harder it is. So that was a failed reversal in the end. It was an absolute fail. It went up instead. It's exhausted, couldn't hold these levels, and now it's coming back down. What will it do here? It'll either bounce really beautifully, take back this funnel, and then maybe create a continuation upside pattern where this is all one big impulse, or it bounces, fizzles, and has a head and shoulder. Those are the options. But there is a possibility of downside in this all. Anyway, that's me on Ethereum, just giving you a quick update. I wanted to do something for you just quickly because I haven't been able to do much in a bit. Our trading day yesterday went really, really well. We enjoyed that. And I want to love you and leave you and speak to you in a second. Again, all the Skype calls are coming in. Speak to you soon. Trade safe. It's not just a bull market for Ethereum at the moment. That's a key message.